Uh-huh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys, how are y'all?
Hey,
Happy
Jess.
good
Hey,
right?
Jess.
Hey, Jess.
Hi
Hey,
Jess.
Jess. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Jess. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, happy belated birthday.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Jess, happy belated birthday.
Thanks everybody. Thanks everybody. Happy Sunday to you all. I hope everybody's been amazing. And I hope everybody's trading has been good. Even though we didn't do class last week, I definitely have been making sure I watch out. Like people have been tagging me on Instagram and stuff like that of their moves and stuff. So congratulations to the people that still been getting to the money. Prior to last week, I had told you guys, do you guys remember me telling you guys about one of y'all's fellow classmates? Not Latoya, but it was a fellow classmate that I told y'all was gonna come on, and I wasn't gonna reveal her identity. I was just gonna wait till she came on. And I told you guys that I was super proud of her. Do you guys remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Take my plate though.
Oh, mute. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna let her tell her own story, but I'm super proud of her. She reached her first $100,000. So shout out to her. And yeah, so I'm gonna turn it over to her and then I'm gonna let you guys ask questions. She's also gonna go over, she started another account and she's gonna, well, I'm gonna let her, because I don't know if she want to go into that. So I'm gonna let her share whatever she wants to share. I do want to say tonight's going to be a little bit short of a class though, because I have a babysitter and a babysitter has to leave at 9. So we're going to have not a not as long class, but it's still going to be effective. Okay. So let's get to it. So, okay. So without further ado, let me welcome Rebecca. Okay. A lot of you guys heard from her, but I'm super proud of her. So we got to just reintroduce.
Thank you. Sorry, I got my daughter's headphones on. Couldn't find mine, so I got the purple headphones. But hi everyone. I haven't been trading for a minute, so like Jess said, I hit that number back in June, and I took the summer off to just kind of be present with my kids. Got my man a car, so
That's my favorite part. Hold on, because you said that real subtle, like it ain't
what
nothing.
did you say?
Let's just run it back.
My man, my man,
Um,
my man.
Well, he was the one that told me about Jess. He was the one that put me on to trading. He was the one that went half on me, half with me on the course. And I said, if I win, I hit it. That's what I'm gonna do. So that is what I did. Um, and he deserved that. He worked very hard. He's still working and trading, so he deserved that.
Absolutely.
And he was my
Congratulations,
support because
Rebecca.
this
That's
this
amazing.
is real.
Congratulations.
Like this is a real journey, right? And I've I still lose here and there, but there were times where he was my encouragement. So it was like kind of like a thank you.
That's so beautiful. Okay.
Okay, so then dun, 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 I got back into trading in September and my broker was shut down. So I had been looking for brokers. I was talking to some of my trading friends, doing my own research. And so what I did was the beginning of October, I put $65 after fees in a broker, an unregulated broker. And in 1 week, I took that 65 and I got it up to September of this year, Sandy. I got it up to just under over 800 in a week. And I wasn't trading gold. I wasn't trading no big pairs. I was just trading EN and a little bit of GJ, but mostly EN. So I'm gonna go over that to show that little flip I did, because you can really do a lot with a little if you know how to trade. So let me share my screen. Oh,
We give you permission.
okay.
All right, then share.
Okay. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
so let's go to the 1 hour. Also, another thing I've been doing is kind of trading on the 1 hour, so I'm spending less time on the charts. Okay, so let's see. All right. So here was the downtrend. It had hit 4-hour resistance up here. This red line is my 4-hour resistance. So I just drew my 1 hour trend line, see the points here and here and here. And like Jess says, there's a minor before there's a major, right? So we have this major trend line right here. And then if you drop down to the 15, we had this minor trend line. And I saw this as a failed low, and it respect this little zone. So I got in for a buy. And having only 70 bucks in my account, it's like whatever. If I'm wrong, I'm not. You know what I mean? And how to play this out. So here it goes. Oh, there it goes. It touched, and then we got a break above in the middle of the night on that Tuesday. So I'm sleeping. Full retest right around here. That's at 5:45. So just before London or New York. Continues pushing up, and oh, there it goes. So this was news, right? This first push. Ah, sorry. Oh gosh. Ah, okay, sorry. So this bar right here was news, and I was expecting to go up here, but I did take profit after this happened. Then all night we had consolidation. So by this time I had taken 2 entries. So I had taken one here at the minor structure break and retest, and then one here at the major structure break and retest. So now I have 2 positions open. So once news hit, I was about to go to bed. I said, let me close that because that's good profit. So that took me up to just around 300 or 400. And then
I
this
can't
downtrend.
see the screen.
Rebecca, your crosshair is not moving at all. We don't know where you are.
All right, I'm sorry. Can you see again?
Yeah, I can see it now.
All right, so here was my minor break and retest right here. Here's the major. So I had 2 positions on this trade. And then news gave us this great push right here. And I got out and went to bed. Overnight, we had a pullback to our major trend line. And I can't remember exactly where I got in again, because this was a couple weeks ago. But let me get out of replay so I could just zoom back to where I was. All right, so here goes our first position with news, right? Closed out, and then the next day I got in right here at this second, this again, minor trend line, break, retest, respected, and then we got a very large push right here. Again, Friday morning, also news. This one I had taken another 2 positions, and that put me to that account another 300 something, almost 400. So I was just about from 65 to like about 800 right here, or 7 something. So we had one final push, and then really I've left this alone because price has been consolidating as expected, because this is a 4-hour zone slash daily zone. And I was waiting to see if price was going to break, retest, and continue up, but it did not. So last week we had this downtrend structure, and I took one position last week. One thing I have been doing is scaling down a lot and only taking like in the market time wise less, because I don't know if anybody knows this, but I used to be a really bad over trader and I was sick of giving my money back. Um let me see here. Yeah, so this I'm trying to see. Trying to figure out where it was. I think right here, somewhere around here, I took a buy down to this negative 27, and I haven't gotten anything yet, but I have this 1 hour trend line here. It's purple, but it should be blue. Sorry about that. That I'm looking to see if we get another push up. But yeah, I was able to take that small account to just under 800 from 65 in a week. And now since then it's up to a little over 1,000. And that was really just by taking smart trades. And taking two positions when I saw additional breaks and retests. I agree, Jonathan. EN structure is beautiful. One of my favorite pairs. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Super blessed. I haven't been on the calls a lot because I really wanted, once I hit that big number, to just kind of be present with my family and enjoy my summer. And now it's like, all right, I got to get back into it. And yeah, this looks like be a nice break and retest, but we'll see.
So I'm super proud of you, and I specifically wanted you to hop on the call just because people have seen you from day one. Like, you did not trade before the course, and then you got
Right.
the course, and you I feel like people have seen like your entire story, like, and you were never a one-on-one student. You were literally strictly
Mm-mm.
only the course. So where some people, like,
Mm-mm.
when people talk about Latoya reaching her first $1 million, and some people will be like, okay, well, she was a one-on-one. Like, you guys see, Rebecca's not a one-on-one. She was
Yeah.
a strictly course student. She bought the course, and literally she didn't know nothing about trading before the course, and she just put in the work. So I just wanted to, have you on here because I think that I remember somebody saying, oh, Jessica, you need to have more of your students hop on, because who was the one lady that said when Latoya hopped on the call, I made all my wins because I just needed fire under me. Y'all remember that lady that said that?
I don't remember her name, but I remember her saying it.
So I told some of my students, like, some of my students is doing really, really well. I told them I'll have students every now and then just come on, just because I do feel like if it's somebody who, has gone through the exact same journey as you, it can
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, not motivate you, but
Be
help.
inspired.
Encourage.
Yeah,
Encouraging.
encourage, but also like let you know not even what's possible. Because hmm, even when Latoya was like, at first she didn't want to tell people that she reached her first million, and it's because the money doesn't matter. It's because, that whole saying, like, what I eat don't make you shit. So you can see somebody make this, you can see somebody make that. But to have somebody where you see their entire journey where they literally did not trade at all. And then during the course of whatever the case may be, it's like they took the knowledge. That's the important part. You took the knowledge and then applied it and, got to work. Because the thing is like right now we live in a time that is unprecedented to a certain extent, right? Like, the president's doing God knows what. A lot of people are complaining about inflation. Wages are not meeting prices. People's money is literally like everything is 10 times more expensive than it used to be, but people are not getting paid more. And there are a lot of people that's just complaining about it. And it's like, in my mind, it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? Like, there are certain things that we literally cannot control. I've always had the mindset like, okay, instead of saying like, I can't afford this, how can I afford this? Let me get my ass to work. Let me go make some money real quick. Let me do this. Let me do that. And I think that so many people are complaining about like their present situations or like, yo, my family this, or I lost my job for this, or the government did this and this and this and that. And it's like this skill set literally teaches you to be in the driving seat of your own life. Oprah Winfrey had a podcast one time, or not on a podcast. I listened to Oprah Winfrey on this show. And she said the number one thing that she would tell anybody is to always be in the driving seat of your own life. Because if you're not in the driving seat of your own life, you allow things to happen to you. Now, ultimately, we know everything is in God's hands. So y'all know I'm a Bible girly. So what I'm gonna always say is what God allows and what God allows in his will for us. But I
Mm-hmm.
personally believe that everybody that's in my community, you didn't come by me by happenstance, right? Like, so for everybody that has the course, this same course that you have, just apply it. You know, yeah, it was $3,000 because, you know, guess what? I know the shit that I have, okay?
Right.
But the thing is like, Rebecca, that $3,000 was worth it because she made $100,000. Latoya, that $3,000 was worth it because guess what? She's made over $1 million, you know? And so it's just like, I want you guys to just really get to work. For the people who are working, keep working. But for the people that's complaining or not necessarily or still trying to figure it out, take Rebecca, take the people that you have seen in front of your face that have, these aren't like, y'all have seen her from day one. So these aren't people that I'm just pulling out the woodwork. Like these are literally students where you guys have seen their, like you can go from to beginning videos. The beautiful thing about my course is that everything is documented, whether it is in the community or you go rewatch the Monday videos of people asking questions or you watching the YouTube videos. Everything and everyone is documented. So you can go back and see people's journeys and where they were to where they are now. And the thing is that God, I don't believe God has favorites, nor do I believe that God shows favoritism. I just think that certain people yield in to his calling and his will for our lives more than others. I think that some people work harder than others. I think that some people are more disciplined than others. And so everything, listen, the source is God. What God has for you, it is up for you. And I
Mm-hmm.
truly believe that God is the source, not a human being. So whatever it is that you put in your work into, you can accomplish if it is up to you. Not to sound cliche, but you know the thing when you're a little kid, if it is to be, it's up to me. Legend sings that. But it's real. If it is to be, it is up to you. So, is there anything else you want to add, Rebecca?
I think one thing you said that my man says to me all the time is not how much everything costs, but it's how can we get that money. And I know that's separate, but I agree with what you said because that is it's a shift of mindset once you have this skill down. It's like what because it's just like a like an ATM.
It
I hate
is.
to say it like that.
Listen, that's not the first student that y'all heard that from. Remember Chantel on her video? I don't know how many people watched that video on her where she said that the beautiful thing about trading is that you can go into the market and it's literally like your personal ATM. It is. Now, I'm not even going to come on here and make it seem like it's easy. You have to put in the work. I've said it many where you have to put in the work. I am not the type of person that's about to sugarcoat anything. You have to put in the work because I don't care how much money you start your account with. You could start your account with $20,000. And if you don't have knowledge, you will lose it all. Or you could start your account with $200. And if you have the knowledge, you can grow it immensely. Just like Rebecca said, she started a small account literally in September just because $75. And that's not her main account. She started it with $75, literally grew it to the 1,000. Did she tell y'all this? I don't know if Latoya told y'all that one time her and her man was on this vacation and they just made a bet one day and she was like, I wonder how much he had gave her $500. She was like, I'm gonna see how much I could flip it to by the end of this vacation. And in that vacation span, she grew it from 500, I think she said, to 10,000. I don't remember the exact amount, but the thing is, it's about the knowledge. When you have the knowledge,
Right.
you can flip it over and over and over and over and over. So I'm not trying to I don't want anybody to stay stuck on the numbers. Like, dang, she made $100,000. Why aren't I making that? Or dang, Latoya made $1 million. Why am I not making that? I want you guys to stay stuck on the skill set. Like, dang, this girl just broke down this chart and she just showed me the exact position that she got in to flip that $75 to $800. Let me see how I can duplicate this. Okay, she got in this on a break and retest. Am I practicing my break and retest enough to know and to have the confidence to actually execute them? Am I seeing my trend lines enough to know where I need to place my point A and point B into the future? Is my
Right.
fit levels drawn right? Like, how do I know I'm at this level of resistance? Can I read the chart to know what's going to happen before it happens because I have the knowledge and the skill set to implement it? That's the mindset that I want y'all to think when I have these students on here, not necessarily like, hey, I want to make the same money that they're making. Oh, she made $100,000. Let me try to make $100,000 tomorrow. That's not what this is, okay?
One thing I want to say too, Jess, I forgot to mention is compound interest is not rocket science, right? Like there is a formula in which you can say, I have this much and I want to make this much in this much of time. And if you only take A+ trades, you will get there. And that's kind of what I did.
Fabiola said, I have no regret in paying for the course either. I made my money back from the course too many times. If you do it right, you absolutely will.
Hmm.
But let's talk about habits real quick because I think that that's a very important thing to go over before you get off. So what's the biggest thing you feel like you learned from the course and how do you feel like it's like changed how you operate? Seeing as though you didn't trade before though, like just in general, what do you feel like is the biggest thing from the course in regards to the market that changed or not changed, but like that you carry over into your trading?
Whew, I don't even know if this is a what, but for me, it was a switch. Like God is my supplier of all my needs, right? I know that sounds crazy, but
No, it's not,
I
girl.
don't need this. Like I felt like once I released that like pressure off my chest and I knew God was gonna have my back no matter what, I just had to discipline myself in every way. Cause really my only problem was not that I was wrong. I was just trading too much. I was an over trader.
Mhm.
And what I learned from the course that transferred over was, I mean, the stops, all the steps. I mean, I knew nothing. I only know your way. I don't know anything about no other way but your way. So, you
Oh,
know,
makes my heart go. It's like joy. You know how a heartbeat, like when you feel like your heartbeat in manifestation of real life, it's like, oh, like a heart melt. That's what it's called, a heart melt.
yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, like I was so caught up in like, I gotta make this much. I gotta make this much. And then I was like, no, because my needs are always met. God always meets my needs. My kids are always good. I just need to trust my analysis and not look at the chart every 5 minutes and let my trades play out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that sounds very cliche to a student that may be on the other side, but that's really the truth.
But the thing is, I feel like psychology sounds cliche to students when they first start. Like I will tell
Yeah.
people before they start trading that psychology is the most important part. And it's like goes over their head, like, yeah, okay, whatever. Let me get to this bag. Let me get to the money. What are you
Hmm.
do this? How you do this? Until they get humbled and they're like, oh shit, like now I see what she means about psychology. Opposed to
Right.
people taking what I say for face value and then realizing and understanding that that's the level that they have to break through.
That's what it is, I think, for everybody. Once everybody starts uh clearing their minds is when they get the clearest, they get the best trades. Because when you're in a messed up mental spot, you're not going to be a good trader.
Yeah. How do you feel like you structured like your weeks and your days? Like I know that you I mean, I actually love the fact that you are a mom because some people use that as an excuse, but how do you feel like you structured your days and your weeks for you to be successful in this?
Well, when I was first learning, my kids were 2 and 3, so they were really young when I first got into the course. But now they're older, so they know that I have chart time, and I mark up on my man and I will mark up on Sundays. But for me, like daily trading, my kids are busy, so like when they're at sports practices in the afternoons, I try to look at it before Asian because EN sometimes moves during Asian and London, so that way I don't have to trade New York at all. So that way I'm good for because I homeschool my kids, so to do homeschool and then like all their activities throughout the day. So I've tried to condense my trading down to a smaller time frame because when I'm in the market too much, that's trouble.
Yeah. What do you feel like is that's an important key actually before I ask you this next question because that is an important key because Chantel talked about that a lot when she was talking about how she reached her first million. She had told people, I think it was actually at the point where she had reached her first 20,000. She said this when she was talking about she sets her trades and she don't look at it. And
That's
that's
what I've been doing.
setting your trades and not looking at it and coming back to the money. That's
I I will look hours and hours and hours later, like, oh shit, I forgot I was in the trade. I'll say that all the time.
yeah, but that's the best thing because that is when you become detached from it emotionally.
Yes, and that's when I started making money.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. What do you think was your biggest what's the question I want to ask? What do you think was your biggest setback? I don't want to say setback because
Hmm.
you've triumphed over everything, but what do you think was your
So
biggest challenge to reach the 100,000?
I had this really bad idea, and it was really bad. It was in 2023, and it took me a long time to correct it. I was like, I'm only going to trade gold, and I'm only going to take one trade a day or two trades a week, and that's it. And I did not follow any of the rules I set forth, and I spent probably 3 months consistently losing. Like I would win a bunch, pull it out, lose, and it was bad. And it was my mentality trying to say that I could do something that I didn't like. Gold is too volatile for me. I like my slow NZD pairs, and I can just use a bigger lot size and make just as much.
Girl, I be trying to tell people be
And
trying.
then once I did it, once I stopped and I said, "See ya," and I got on my slow pairs and I just up my lot size. I didn't have no stress. Now I can go hours and not look at my trade and not have anxiety or be looking at my phone every 5 minutes because the goal is to not have a phone in my face every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
goal is freedom and presence, right?
yeah,
And once I started implementing that and I left gold alone, then I was good. I mean, I still invest in it as like a
yeah,
hold,
absolutely.
but but not as like a day trading. And you know, if that's your thing, that's cool. But I'm as me for what my lifestyle is, I'm home with a 5 or 6 and 8 year old every day, teaching them, taking them to all the sports and activities and all the things you do. I don't have time to be worrying about a wick or this or that or news or something crazy Trump said. Like, no, thank you.
That's crazy because I tell people that all the time. Like, you do not need to trade gold all the time, especially people who not even profitable. It blows my mind when people want to trade gold in US 30. And I'm like, but how many regular pairs have you been making money on? And come
You
back
could
to
my
me.
list right there. Those are all slow. Well, my A team, GJEN, GN, GA, EA, easies. Like
How do you feel like you handled coming back? Because I think that's a key thing. So y'all just heard her say she had 3 months of consistent losses. Okay. Let's
well,
note that out because
yeah, that was in 2023. That was a bad time.
yeah, so that for everybody that's on this call where you're in a funk and you're trying to get over yourself, or trying to get to the next part of this process, know that you are not alone. Like I told y'all, that's how I even came up with a prayer closet. God had to knock me on my knees in
Mm-hmm.
order for me to really humble myself. And I do think that honestly, trading made me stronger in my faith. Like I always had a relationship with God, but I feel like once everything was stripped from me, which for a lot of people, once God really humbles you, you serve him in a different light, and you really realize that like really all of this is it's not ours. Like
Right.
his grace is sufficient. And so y'all know my story where I lost $100,000 and then literally went to my prayer closet because your girl was depressed. Okay. But for you, with your down season, you say you had 3 months of losses. Like, what kept you from giving up in trading? Because that's some people's exit lift.
So in 2020, that happened in 2022. 2022, I went live and in May. And by August, I had paid off both cars that we had before we got the new cars. So I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
I paid off 2 cars. I was doing things.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I
you
was,
did tell me that. You said, yeah, because you took the course and then you were consistently profitable after the course, and then you paid off both of y'all cars.
yep,
And then
yep.
you
I was
started.
like, we're getting debt free. We're paying everything off with the first win. That was when I hit the 10K. And then I was consistent, but I was over trading a little. And then 2023, I had that idea. So I had 3 months of straight losses. And then I remember I was like, this is it. Like, I get it up, I get it down. And I remember closing out gold and looking at E Euro CAD, which used to be a pair I traded a lot. And I so clearly saw the break and retest and a beautiful setup. And I was like, I'm spending so much time on this one pair. I could be over here making just as much money. So I stopped for like a month of completely stopped trading and got my head right. I went back to the course. I did all the things that you're supposed to do when you're having trouble. Went back to the course, spent some time away from the charts, did some soul searching. You know what I mean? I took a break
So
and
let's talk about, yeah, because what you just said is basically you stepped away from your rules and then you came back to the rules.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
now that I'm back, and once I got back on my strict rules, I stuck to my compounding chart. It was up after that.
yeah. Let's go back to that for a second because a lot of people don't really realize that those rules are everything.
Yeah.
They will be super successful after the course and then get in their own way by trying to do stuff their way. And it's like, bro, you have the Holy Grail in front of your face. Like, what are we doing? So why do you feel like you deviated from your rules in the first place? If you had been so successful to pay off your cars and stuff, what made you deviate from your rules?
Uh, I don't want to say greed, but almost greed, like I thought I could just make that much more and be that much quicker. Because if gold moves so fast, then I could just take one quick trade during New York or before New York and make my goal and be out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what happened.
Yeah.
And I spent so much time in my phone, looking at the charts, looking on my computer. I feel like I wasted so much time. Just I regret it, but I needed to go through it to get to where I am now because now I'm entering and not looking for hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
abandoning my rules was the worst thing I could have done.
Well, I'm happy that you got back on the roll.
I've always been a strict person with myself, and I don't know what came over me during that time, but
Yeah.
like, I, uh-uh.
Yeah. Um, okay. Uh, my babysitter has to leave, so I was gonna shut the call down at 9. Does anybody have any questions for Rebecca? Y'all can keep asking if y'all want to, or Rebecca, do you have to go? But I'll keep the call on, but I'm gonna put myself on mute.
All right.
So that I can go to my kids and let's my sitter leave, but I'll still be here. So if anybody has any questions, like I'm just gonna put myself on mute, but I'll still be on the call. Okay. Do you want to get
Okay.
off because I don't want to take your night. Like I know you got
I can
kids.
take a couple and then I gotta go too because I got laundry to fold.
Okay, cool. So you can shut it off whenever you want.
Alright.
Still be present, but you can end it whenever you want, okay? All right, I love you guys and I love you guys and we'll be fully back on the charts next Sunday, but I thought this call was super important. So I wanted to make time for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you,
Thank
Rebecca.
you, Jess.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Jess.
Oh,
Does
did you
anybody
have questions for
have
Rebecca?
any questions? Yeah, does anybody have any questions
Yeah.
or?
I have a question.
Sure.
Hey, are there any like rules that you do during the weekend that kind of limit your thinking about a trade like during the week that you kind of set in place? I know trend line break and retest and stuff like that, but
Yeah, just like whatever setup looks good. I really like to look for 1 hour reversals because then you know you can catch at least the impulse, wait out the correction, and take the continuation, if you know what I mean.
I couldn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I try to look for 1 hour trend reversals. But if I can't, I'll just look at whatever I can find, you know? But if
Can you
it's a
show an
one,
example?
yeah, actually last week, really quick. Let me share my screen real fast. All right.
I was asking because I know I find midweek I start to change my my thought process from the weekend,
Yes.
and I was so accurate during the weekend, and it's like
That's
you
why you
know,
got to get out on like Monday or Tuesday.
say it again.
So you got to get out early. You got to get out like once you make your money on Monday or Tuesday, hit your 20 and get out.
That's my
So,
thing.
like,
Wednesday is like throw me off. I usually get it back on Friday, but it's like the Wednesday is like
yeah, but that stresses you out though. Then you're stressed out.
It's so
Say-
hard to hear.
say
Can
it
you hear
again.
me? I said, then you're stressing yourself out for no reason.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So like look right here. So this is the 1 hour on EN, right? Can you guys see my screen? Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes.
So we
Yeah,
had
it's yours.
this impulse down right here. This is let me how to make this. And then we had a small correction. And we have our continuation down. Ah, sorry.
Rebecca, are your headphones turned up? It's real hard to hear you.
Yeah, it's because my kids are sleeping like right next to me. I really gotta be
Oh,
quiet.
no,
I'm
no, don't wake
sorry.
them up. Please don't wake them up.
So I have this impulse correction continuation. So once I saw this and it started consolidating on this level. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I can
Alright.
hear you fine.
Yes.
So here we go. Impulse correction continuation. Then I had this minor trend line. And I saw you kind of gotta, this is a pair I kind of trade often, so I know the style of the way that it moves. And I saw this right here. I was like, this looks like this might be ready for a buy. And I drew this minor trend line, got in, and then got in again. But this is, a 1 hour trend changing direction, and I was able to catch quite a few pips at the change of direction. That's why I like the 1 hour reversals. That's kind of a good example, I think.
I had a
That's a good
question.
example.
That
Yeah,
that
sure.
definitely helped because
The
I think
minor and major.
Yes. Did you see the minor
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
major?
Yeah, I can see the minor and major. I was just wondering if you caught both of them.
Yeah. So my first entry was on the minor, and then when I saw it break and retest the 1 hour on the major, that's when I got in. I try to do that way I can get out faster. I try to take 2 entries per trade if I can get them. And that's how I was able to grow that $70 so quickly, I think.
So she literally did that off of assignment number. What assignment was in the course? 7, 6, 6.
Oh.
The break and recess of the trend line assignment. Like everything that's in your course. So do
Yeah.
the course and practice it, guys. Practice it.
Because that's just minor trend line right here, the light blue, and then the bright blue is the 1 hour. And then I had known that there was going to be news. I just didn't know it was going to be so strong, but you just never know. But that's why I like trading Asian, because it works for my schedule, because I can't be sitting here watching 9, 10, 11 when I've got my kids with me. So
Where did you exit, Rebecca?
I exited at, sorry. Ugh. So for the first news, come on. For the first news, I entered right around here because it was consolidating, and I was about to go to bed, and I was like, let me just put this money in the bank because I don't need to be greedy. So then we had the pullback overnight. Again, a couple touches building this 1 hour uptrend trend line. Then again, minor trend line break and retest, and then a beautiful push on Friday with news.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Hi, Rebecca. Congratulations. I have a question.
Sure.
Actually, 3 questions real quick. What's your lot size? What time do you trade? And how many trades you take a week?
Lot size depends. And nothing less than a standard when I'm on EN because it's such an easy moving pair. I can do a couple lot sizes. The times I trade, it depends if I get an alert. But I try to look at the charts at like 5, 6 p.m. and get in sometimes during Asian because it works better for my schedule. And since I've been back on the charts, I really only take like 2 trades a week, you know? I'm trying to limit it. Once I hit 20%, I don't look at the charts again because I don't need that trouble.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I have a quick question about risk to reward ratio. Like, how do you determine that in your trades? Do you just go to the next zone or the next closest take profit, and then you look at your stop loss as your risk?
Yeah. So, one thing I that Jess says that sticks in my head sometimes is I try to take price at the next best stopping point. So, like this trade, you could put a little fib right here, but it pushed even farther up. But if you see, there's an area of interest. So I try to stick to zones if I'm not sure, or not if I'm not sure, but if I just am going to be busy and not looking at it because it's better to take some of the pie than try to be greedy and lose it if it reverses, you know?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So when you know how Jess says when you are taking trades, if you for every $1,000 you should only risk $1.
Yeah, I actually did adhere to that when I first started trading. So if you are new or on the newer side, I would definitely stick with that advice.
Okay.
I've been live trading now about to be 4 years. So it's really something you have to grow personal comfortability with because some brokers will pull your positions if you over leverage too much. And when I first started, I did follow that exact advice from Jess because like I said, I knew nothing. I did exactly what that woman said because she was my teacher, you know?
Okay. So if let's just say you start off with like $1,000 and you want to, as part of your risk management, you say, okay, well, I'm going to, let's say, risk 30 pips per trade. Or like some people will break that $1,000 down to 100 trades so they can guarantee they get 100 trades where they only risk $10. Would you say that it's like not a best practice, but like just a good idea to say like, okay, well, for even though you're following all the rules, let's just, and I guess if you have a risk management and after you lose 2 trades, you go back and see what you did, before you take more trades, is it a good idea to say, okay, well, I'm only going to risk 30 pips per trade? That way, with this $1,000, I can guarantee almost that I'll have at least 30 trades or 33 trades before my account is wiped out.
So that's something you got to be personally comfortable with, because somebody put in the comments, which is good, is that your stop loss, she teaches it based off of structure. So if, 30 pips may stop you out real quick. Like if it's too tight. So you want to give yourself some wiggle room, because sometimes price will play a little bit before it goes in your actual direction, whether it be consolidation, a wick. I don't really know if I have any examples exactly right here in price, but I think that as long as it's something you're comfortable with, I think that's good. But I mean, unfortunately, I please don't take this advice, but personally, I don't use a stop loss, so it's hard for me to give advice on that.
Okay. Thank you.
But I do try to follow structure. So if, I do set alerts under the last high or low, so I know if price is, just retesting an area, or if it's going to break structure and continue in a different direction.
Wait, can you say that again? I didn't hear that part.
Okay, so what I would do is set alerts. So if price breaks structure. So let me show you an example. You see this red trend line right here?
Mm-hmm.
So price broke below it. That broke this last low over here. So that would show me, oh, we got a change in direction, or a possible change in direction. So I would set an alert, like if I'm I gotta watch this, because if I'm trying to go up, this isn't the trade to go up. But there was no signal for this to go up, but I'm just trying to give you an example. I don't know if that was the best one.
Hey Rebecca, I have a question if you don't mind.
Sure.
Congratulations again. I'm not sure
Thank
if you
you.
did answer this already, but it's kind of along the lines with setting alerts. But do you ever do like pending limits? Because my biggest thing is with my work schedule, me trying to capitalize on the best entries. Sometimes I have to fall asleep because I have work at 6 a.m. or whatever the case may be for that night. And then I wake up and like, dang, I missed that entry. If I would have woke up a couple hours earlier, it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
So do you like do pending limits where like it gets into the trade at a certain price point that you set, or do you kind of just go with what you see?
I haven't done them in a long time. I used to for some of the pairs that were really consistent with minor and major break and retest, like if I saw something cooking and I was about to go to bed. But now I just kind of let it go. But if you had to, you can. I mean, I have in the past. I just don't do it currently.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Jess, are you here? If everybody doesn't have any more questions, I'm about to.
Oh, I have one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just have a quick one about I put in the chat too, like what made you choose your pairs? Was it over time? Like I have set ones, but
Okay, so when I first started, I was like, I didn't know anything. I was like, I don't know about the US dollar. There's so much in the news all the time about the US dollar, this and that. I was like, I don't want to deal with that. Let me pick some other pairs. So I started trading like Euro CAD, all the CAD pairs. So I did Euro CAD, GBP CAD, CAD JPY, and those are all my practice pairs. And I was successful on those. I was making money. I traded some GJ, but not much. And then another student had talked about EN and the NZD AUD pairs, and I was like, let me see what's up. And then it just so happened at that time my kid's schedule started shifting where I was basically sitting at like dance or softball or wherever during Asian, and that's when those pairs were moving. So I was bringing my laptop and looking at them like, damn, I could make some money. So it started really working for my schedule to trade Asian, and those pairs moved during Asian. So that's kind of where I went with that, if that makes sense. And I still don't trade the dollar much. Yeah, if at all.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay, I just got one more question. You know how when you put the alert on the trend line where you think it's going to break and then retest?
Mm-hmm.
When you after it hits that alert and you put another alert for when it actually retests, how do you know where on the trend line to put the alert, or is it just anywhere on the trend line?
So for example, this purple trend line right here, right? When you right click it, add alert to trend line, and you do, let's say, once per minute, it's going to keep going no matter how many times it hits that trend line. It will just say, if you set your expiration for like a month out, you're going to get an alert every time. So say there's like multiple, like, let's look right here. So it broke this trend line right here at 1 a.m. It didn't retest it till 8 a.m., right?
Mm-hmm.
So I probably slept through those alerts, but then got that one because I was awake and got in that trade. So as long as it's still, the clock is still lit up, your alert is still active. As long as you just select something different than only once. Because if you put it on only once, you're only going to get one alert and never repeat again. If you put it on once per bar or once per barcode or once per minute, you're going to hear it.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't matter where on that trend line it hits. It's in any time it hits that trend line, the alert is going to go off if I have. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Have a good night.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much,
everyone.
Rebecca.
Great
All right,
job.
you guys. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys next Sunday. Everybody have a good night, all right?
All right, have a